Bonjour, bienvenue dans la classe de français. Aujourd'hui, c'est la 18e journée de notre classe de français. Today is the 18th day of this semester of French class. C'est fantastique. Excellent. Yesterday, we started some vocabulary, and the day before, about the weekend, and it was our list A. So it was a long list of vocabulary that we can use to talk about the things we do on the weekend. Today we're going to be continuing that list, but this time it's vocabulary B. So it's just more things we can do on the weekend. It's actually quite a short list. It has mostly to do with how you might get somewhere and what you need to do to get there. For example, you might need to buy a ticket, get on a bus, take a walk, ride a bicycle, right? Things like that, things you need to do in order to enjoy your weekend in Paris. You can't just walk into your city and just do things, right? You have to sometimes be prepared, buy tickets, things like that. So that's what this vocabulary is about today. The first thing you want to write down in your notebook is a question you've seen before. It's comment vas-tu, which can be used to mean how are you, but it can also be used to mean how do you get there where you're going? How are you going? Where are you going? How's that going to work? Comment vas-tu? So everybody say it after me. It's comment vas-tu? Comment vas-tu? Excellent. And we've got a couple of different ways we can answer this question, but we'll always use I go. Je vais. Look at the examples. Je vais en bus. Je vais en voiture. Je vais en métro. Remember, on this video, you can stop at any time to practice saying things, and I really recommend that you do that. Press the pause button and say the things you've just heard. The more you repeat, the better your pronunciation will be, the better you will do in French, and the more fun you'll have because you'll learn more. Right? Je vais en bus, I'm going by bus. Je vais en voiture, I'm going by car. Je vais en métro. Métro is the word for subway in French. Je vais en métro. And a métro is almost always underground. Sometimes it comes above ground, but for the most part, it's underground. So that's why it's a subway, like in English. Where are we going to go? One place we're going to go is en ville. And we already know en ville, right? What does en ville mean? It means in town or downtown. And aller, we did this a few weeks ago. What does aller mean? It means to go. So you put aller and en ville together and you get to go downtown, to go in town. So if you ask someone in France what they did on the weekend, a lot of times they'll say they went into town because in France, really all the interesting stuff is in the center of the town. It's not so much like Phoenix and Glendale and Peoria where things are spread out. It's much more centralized there. So a lot of times people will say, je vais en ville. So repeat that sentence after me. Le week-end, je vais en ville. Excellent. Le week-end, je vais en ville. You can also go by foot. You can walk, right? Aller, to go. Does everyone remember tête, épaule, genou, et pied? So aller, to go. Pied is foot. To go by foot or to walk. Je vais à pied. Je vais à pied. Comment vas-tu? Je vais à pied. Je vais au parc à pied. So I can put things together. I go to the park by foot. Je vais au parc à pied. Excellent. Acheter. Now we're learning all these words that we're going to put together to describe what we do in town. Acheter means to buy. And you learned it last year when we were talking about clothing. It was right before the PBA, I believe. Say it after me. It's acheter. Here's a sample sentence. J'achète une jupe. And I'm sure you all remember what une jupe is, right? J'achète une jupe. Another one. Il achète un livre. Right? He buys a book. He's buying a book. Il achète un livre. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait? What's he doing? Il achète un livre. Fantastique. Il achète un livre. The thing we're going to buy the most often if we want to go out at night is a ticket. A ticket to something, right? To a movie, to a play, to a concert. So acheter, again, to buy. Un billet is a ticket. Say that one after me. It's un billet. Un billet. J'achète un billet. I'm buying a ticket. J'achète un billet. Je vais à New York. D'abord, j'achète un billet. I'm going to New York. First, I buy a ticket. J'achète un billet. Excellent. Here we go. J'achète un billet à New York. So we can use à with a place and say where we're buying that ticket to. Maybe we're buying a ticket to the movies. J'achète un billet au cinéma. See if you can catch my spelling error in that last sentence. J'achète un billet au cinéma. Fantastique. Au cinéma. Now I have to buy my ticket somewhere, and where I buy my ticket is au guichet. A guichet is a ticket booth. Say that one after me. Au guichet. Au guichet. Right, so a good sentence would be, j'achète un billet au guichet, because the only thing you're going to buy au guichet is a ticket. So anytime you want to talk about buying a ticket, guichet can't go with anything else, because you don't buy anything else at the guichet. J'achète un billet au guichet. Je vais à New York. D'abord, j'achète un billet au guichet. Je vais à Los Angeles. D'abord, j'achète un billet au guichet. Je n'achète pas un Coca-Cola au guichet. I don't buy a Coke at the ticket booth. I only buy a ticket. J'achète un billet au guichet. Super. I've got my ticket. I'm ready to go. I go over to the bus. And in French, you don't just get on a bus. You have to go up into a bus. We say it slightly differently than in English. Monter dans. Monter means to go up or to climb. Say that one after me. It's monter. Monter. And then dans, we already know, right? Actually, I don't know how much we really got to dans last year. But anyway, dans, in. Je monte dans le bus. I go up into the bus. And if you think about it, that's what you do. You walk up the little steps, and then you are in the bus. You are not on a bus in French, because if you're on a bus in French, you're standing on top of it. In French, you have to be in a bus. Je monte dans le bus. I could even say where the bus is going. Je monte dans le bus à New York. Je vais à New York. Je vais au New York. D'abord, j'achète un billet au guichet. Puis je monte dans le bus. Puis je monte dans le bus. Excellent. Je monte dans le métro. You're getting up into a subway car. That's into the car. Je monte dans le train. You have to get up to get into a train. Remember, you're not on it. You're not standing on top of it. You're in it. Je monte dans le train. Je monte dans le train. Je monte dans la voiture. This one often seems kind of funny to us because you don't think of yourself as going up into a car. But if you think about it, the bottom of the car is higher than the ground. So je monte dans la voiture. I get into the car. We say that in English too. You don't say on a car. Imagine if we said that like, oh, she's on the car. It's not kind of weird. Arriver, we've heard before. Say it after me. Arriver. Arriver. Excellent. Here's some ways we use arriver, regular ER verb. J'arrive à l'heure. Remember à l'heure from last week? J'arrive à l'heure. Feel free to pause and say the sentences after me. J'arrive à l'heure. Ma sœur arrive en avance. Mon frère arrive en retard. Right? The differences between me and ma sœur and mon frère. J'arrive à l'heure. Ma sœur arrive en avance. Mon frère arrive en retard. Je n'arrive pas en avance. J'arrive à l'heure. Ma sœur n'arrive pas en retard. Ma sœur arrive en avance. Mon frère n'arrive pas à l'heure. Il arrive en retard. We can also say we arrive somewhere, right? J'arrive à New York. J'arrive à Los Angeles. J'arrive à Paris. Sadly, all I can say is je n'arrive pas à Paris. Right? I am not arriving in Paris. Very sad. So now, let's just look at all these words that we know. Let me just skim all the way back to the beginning of what we've been doing here. Comment vas-tu? How are you getting somewhere? Right? Ah, je vais en ville. Le weekend, je vais en ville. Je vais à pied. Je vais à pied. J'achète un billet au guichet. J'achète un billet au guichet. Je monte dans le bus. Je monte dans le bus. I get into the bus. J'arrive. Where should I arrive? J'arrive au cinéma. Maybe I went to the movie theater. J'arrive au cinéma. J'arrive à l'heure. I get to the movie theater. I arrive on time. Now, the other thing we have to do sometimes is go down to get on something, and that tends to be true with the métro. You can use either one with the métro, but descendre is to go down or to get off of something. So I use monte to get onto the bus. Je monte dans le bus, but then I have to use descendre to get off the bus. I get off, je descends. And where do I get off, for example? Je descends au cinéma. I get off at the movie theater. Je monte dans le bus. Le bus arrive au cinéma. Je descends au cinéma. Je descends au cinéma. And here are just the forms of descendre because it's a different kind of verb than we've used before in a while, right? Je descends, tu descends, il descend, elle descend. Right? You can say those after me. Je descends, tu descends, il descend, elle descend. We don't need to worry about the plurals right now. We'll just stick with the singulars. Now, where are we going to get where to leave for where we want to go? What is our destination? We leave from somewhere, but we have to get there first. So I have to go to the station in order to leave for New York, right? À la station is any kind of station except the train station. Say it after me. It's à la station. À la station. Je descends à la station. Right? Je monte dans le bus arrive, je descends à la station. So maybe I took a bus to another station, or maybe I walked to the bus station. How about je marche à la station, j'achète un billet au guichet, je monte dans le bus arrive, je descends. À la gare. This is a train station. When you get in a train station, you have to go down to get on the trains. You'd use descend. If you have to go up, you'd use monte. Doesn't really matter. The important thing to remember is à la gare is a train station. Say it after me. À la gare. Je vais à la gare. Right? So maybe I'm not taking a bus. J'achète un billet au guichet. Je vais à la gare. J'achète un billet au guichet. Je prends le train. I take the train. Je prends le train. Wherever I'm going, right? So all this vocabulary is summarized in this little yellow box here, which we aren't really going to go over together, but you can look at it. It's got some sample sentences you can look at. This comes straight from the book. I don't like the way they organize their vocabulary on these vocabulary lists. I think it's confusing. So that's why I took it apart. But you're welcome to look at this list here, this sort of combination of vocabulary, the way they've put it together. I don't find it super helpful, but sometimes it's nice to have another thing to look at. And since we don't have the books to look at right now, that'll have to do. So your independent work is next. Remember, you can go back in this video and listen to anything again that you want to hear, that you want to practice. The independent work that goes after this video is a worksheet, which is in Google Docs. It's a bunch of questions about your weekend based on vocabulary B and vocabulary A about the weekend and traveling. And then after that, there's a Flipgrid recording. The link is in Classroom also. And it asks you, qu'est-ce que tu fais le weekend? So you're going to try to make a recording of yourself talking about what you do on the weekend and use as much vocabulary as you can. Remember, you can practice. You don't have to record and hand in the first thing that you do. I believe that if you don't like it, you can delete it and then put in another one. I set it for 30 seconds. See if you can fill that time. If not, just do the best that you can do. We're just practicing with this Flipgrid to be practicing our speaking as much as possible. So remember, si tu as un problème, pas de souci, madame est là. That's me as a superhero. It's kind of cute, huh? I know you like it. All right, have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Au revoir, bonne journée. I just have to turn this off, and it takes me a moment.